July 12, 1942. Having annihilated part of the southern front, the Germans resumed their advance towards the Caucasus, albeit with some hiccups, most likely due to logistical constraints. And this week, they did something that surprised the Soviet High Command once again. Out of the blue, using their mobile units, they attacked and brushed aside the right wing of the North Caucasus Front, even reaching and crossing the Kirpil River, the last natural defense before Krasnodar. And for once, facing this catastrophe, the Soviet High Command decided to listen to Sun Tzu's "lose land but keep men, and the land can be retaken." And so this week, the North Caucasus Front evacuates its 38th and 47th armies, leaving behind just a small garrison in Krasnodar. Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new weekly episode of War in the East 2, the online game challenge. And this week we have, I would say, not a bad news, but a concerning news coming from the Kuban sector. And without further ado, let's go straight into the sector in question, because this week the Germans used, I guess, is the 1st Panzer Army to open a breach in the lines of the North Caucasus Front, and well, they pushed quite deep, and I think I see their plan. Either my opponent wants to encircle me at Akhtarsk, or he wants to push over here to cut off the Taman Peninsula and maybe force me to evacuate Krasnodar. Let's say I was lucky to see that my troops kind of held the 73rd Rifle Division held its ground against the enemy one. I think it was this one, the 183rd. And anyway, this one will be disbanded in some turns. But what I was not expecting was to see my opponent use his motorized and his panzer divisions to attack me here. It was my mistake to keep some cavalry units here, because he just smashed them, and yeah, he used, I guess, his mobile reserve here to further push away my cavalry units here. And this now put the entire Kuban sector at risk of being encircled, because either he pushes here, either he pushes over here. In either way, I need to evacuate Krasnodar. There is no way that I can defend this position for long. And so let me just already evacuate these guys over here. And yeah, it's very unfortunate. It's already July. I mean, it's only July. There are still some weeks of good weather for him to take advantage of these. Where are they? Of these victory points. And yeah, I don't know whether he will attack Stalingrad. I don't know. I don't see anymore the 4th Panzer Army. I'm really concerned about an offensive again in this sector here, or in this sector here, because while here I have some tank corps, here I have nothing. I have some rifle corps, but besides that I have nothing. And again, in either way, he could easily push towards Tula and then push against Moscow. But yeah, time will tell what the plans of what the Axis plans are. And also he let's say rescued the first Romanian cavalry division, and yeah, by routing and retreating some of my units over here. Let's say events-wise, we have garrison in Western Europe and partisans, and then we have 65,000 losses, 61k received, of which I would say 34,000 from the theater boxes, and the Axis received 29,000 men. And what was interesting for me this week was that, okay, if we look at the losses, 23 versus 65, so pretty high losses for the Axis, equally moderate losses for the air forces. And if you now look at the okay, at the OOB on the map, okay, mine is is going up. Not as high as it was in May before the catastrophes that occurred in that period, but it's okay. But interesting is the manpower pool, because mine again is going up pretty substantially. So I'm not now again. I can afford to sacrifice some of these units, namely maybe not the 28th mechanized tank mechanized corps, but for sure I will sacrifice maybe some of these divisions over here, with the sole objective of buying myself some time. I need to buy time to deploy more and more divisions here to reinforce Stalingrad and reinforce the North Caucasian Front. And also, yeah, before I forget, again this week I really don't know what's going on with Rokossovsky, but Rokossovsky again lost 1 point of his political ratings, and he now took command of the North Caucasus Front. Like, what? Like, where is the North Caucasus Front? Like, what? Like, the guy lost 1 infantry rating last week, and now he lost 1 political rating this week. Like, seriously, why? And again, this guy, the 1st Tank Army commander, why is he now in command of the 1st Tank Army? Like, come on, you gotta be kidding me, like, seriously. Who have we here? Rodin, Alexei Rodin. He looks like a decent guy, but Cherniakovsky has much better stats. He is a 68566 versus 650. Okay, Cherniakovsky now will lead the 1st Tank Army, and yeah, oh boy. So this week I will launch some localized counterattacks here. Who cares if those units get cut off and trapped? The more I delay the axis, and the better it is for me. So, folks, without further ado, I guess, as always, the time has come to dive straight into this episode. Alright, folks, so, what can I say? I'm smiling and laughing at the same time, because I'm like, poor Rokossovsky. This guy is seriously cursed in this campaign. He seems to be hated by the guy above me, the Mr. Big Mustache Man, because the poor Rokossovsky, he was beaten up by the NKVD in 1938, and now he's being sent to lead fronts and armies, and he's losing ratings left and right, and yeah, poor guy. I mean, I hope he will successfully lead the North Caucasus Front against the upcoming German offensive, which, by the way, again, was kind of surprising, and let's say this week, it was surprising. It surprised me this week, because, let's say, it's a bit unconventional to use the mobile forces as attacking forces. Like, normally, if I was in command of the Axis forces, I would have used maybe a corps of reinforced infantry divisions with Stug battalions and pioneers, maybe, and rotate them to have them more or less with a 90 or 85% of TOE strength, and ideally 100 or as many CVPs as possible. But no, so quite unexpectedly, the Axis High Command used its mobile forces to open a gap in my lines, and I believe that this is what costed the Germans the pocket of the 38th and 47th armies. Again, I'm just speculating, but maybe, had the Germans preserved the movement points of their mobile units, they could have easily, or let's say easily, quote, more or less easily encircled and surrounded the 38th and 47th armies. This, in turn, would have severely weakened the entire North Caucasus Front. But now that the 38th and the 47th armies, let's say, kind of did survive or managed to run away from the incoming Germans, well, time will tell what will happen to these armies. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but I believe that they will manage to slow down as much as possible the German advance. And yeah, I would say I don't know what else to add for this episode, folks. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I wish you all the best, and as always, I'll see you all again in the next episode.
Bye.